They work for others. The coolie has tilled the land for generations. No soil is her own. No soil is her own. No water, her birthright. No water, her birthright. Their produce sings of their dignity. Their produce sings of their dignity.
According to you, what is the purpose of education? What do you feel about art and education? Once more, very nice if you could share 2 by 2. According to you, what is the purpose of education? What do you feel about art and education? If you can just it's not possible because of the time. So, may I start with you? May I share with you what I personally understand by the purpose of education and what I mean by art and education. I trust the greatest art is the art of loving. For most of us, education starts at home, with parents reaching out in love to the growing child who holds a long-term promise and potential of becoming fully human and alive. To love means working at the child's rhythm, to build her personhood in which she will find a deep-rooted security. It means to help the child to discover the beauty of creation, to allow her to play and to laugh, to express feelings and discover her senses, to explore and to venture. It means to affirm and encourage her, to listen with the heart and respond to her curiosities, queries and questions. To love a child is to teach her to reach out to others, to share, to receive and to forgive. It is to let her find her way to fulfillment. Is this always the reality? No. Unfortunately, no. Often, it is not like that, because children are often taken for granted and for granted. They are a nuisance and noisy. Let the electronic babysitter take charge of peace to the parents and pleasure to the children. The box will show them the real world, Cartoon Network, violence and sex. Where have the storytellers gone? Children are also said to be innocent and ignorant. Listen to this little poem of Satinath Sarandi and think it over.
Children listen with a lot of attention. Children see with a lot of attention. They have just come into this world and they have so many questions to ask. They have so many questions to ask. Like, why should flowers be always drawn round in pictures? Why shouldn't the depth of code be an accident? Why are there firings across the borders? Why are there firings? Why? Why are there borders? They are ignorant. They do not know that it is more important to brush your teeth in the morning than to give clothes to someone who doesn't have them. The system is threatened if too many questions are asked. If the answers are not approved, so deploy a parent behind every child. And for further caution, open schools. And for further caution, open schools.
How could art contribute to education? I particularly think of schools and colleges. I'm not a teacher by profession, so I don't know that. Except for creative non-formal school, I can share only what I understand and hear about the kind of education generally prevailing in school. First, observe children coming out of school on their way home, carrying their bags heavily loaded with books. Poor children. Happy are those who get a seat in the bus and keep on their lap some school books of their classmates. Would this scene be a symptom of the kind of education system the children undergo? Teachers teach from textbook and have nothing to learn from the children. Knowledge is found into their minds, and so children learn and memorize with almost no out-of-the-box thinking. This boardroom teaching is confined to classrooms, and the relation with nature is broken. There is a strong focus on exam from an early age. Where then is a time for children to be themselves and to be playful? The whole atmosphere seems to be competitive and punitive if discipline is disrupted. The entire system, school, teachers, parents, hanging on children, is caught in a constant cycle of good marks, good job, and good life. Could it be that most schools have a strong focus on academic subjects with little scope for creative and critical thinking, for questioning and searching? Even in colleges with this system, would the student be given an adequate understanding, analysis, and exposure to the real problems of life, of the world around, and equip them intellectually, emotionally, and ethically to fulfill a task of social reconstruction? Or the values taught in school and colleges not derived from a Western capitalism which stands for private interest and profit, for individualism, consumerism, competition, and this day for every form of manual work? Finally, students are well molded to suit a system, a status quo system that never should be questioned and challenged. In the process, they are losing their real human identity. How to learn, to unlearn and to relearn. How to learn, to unlearn and to relearn. We must divest ourselves of certain deeply ingrained conceptions which act as blinkers, obstructing the vision of truth, the truth of love, and of being fully human and alive. I think that here art of any sensuous form has a unique purpose. At this point, I like to share something more regarding the Lord's theories. I have made India my home for the past 42 years. The simple way of village life, where I worked for many years, fascinated me and inspired me to represent life through the creation of those little girls leading the sheep to green pasture and mountain stream, children with scant resources fashioning things from scraps and waste to play with, women weaving palm leaf baskets, the potter at his wheel, the floorman on the bicycle, the son of the earth beating his drum. My fascination became an aesthetic experience. I walk at night when everything is calm and peaceful. Then, in the dark of the night, as the dawn take shape and come alive, I see the secret of people's pain and celebration. In the course of time, the experience of life in India, the situations I found people in, the day-to-day events, the social commitment of friends and companions, my own reflections and insights from life gave more meaning and purposeful depth to the creation of those. They began to reflect Indian life not only with its breathtaking variety and unique beauty, but life with its gripping and enduring tragedies. They embody and express something of my experiences, search and questions, of my dreams, hopes and discoveries, of my tears, protest, anger, prayer and celebration. They are a part of me, and I a part of them. The Lord tells us on what it means to search each day for scraps which need to survive the next day, and what it means to work hard and walk a long way just for a pot of water for your thirsty little dog. They tell us what it means to stretch out your tired body on the hard pavement as your bed, and what it means to be a victim of battering and rape, of women burned for dowry in the flames of consumerism. They tell us of the endless column of homeless people chased out of forests and villages to extract minerals, satisfying greedy corporates, and thus becoming refugees in their own country, making their way nowhere. And of Mother Earth, threatened to the point of no return. We see words of unimaginable violence. They tell us what it means to lose your dignity, your roots, and your identity, to lose your land and your job, your childhood and livelihood, and your humanity. I quote Arundhati's Roy's own words. In the 21st century, the connection between corporate globalization, religious fundamentalism, nuclear nationalism, global warming, and the pauperization of whole population is becoming impossible to ignore. We cannot ignore. The unrest has myriad manifestations: terrorism, armed struggle, non-violent mass mass resistance, and common crime. That darkened night carries away the dreams of millions of people. The dolls tell us also that such people are still resourceful and have vitality, still struggle for dignity, still hold on to values of sharing and compassion. They tell us about the beauty and love that probe beneath the ordinariness and boredom of their life and struggle for survival, and of joy of life that pulsates within their wounds and tears. Interacting with our sacred but wounded world, we will need to understand how this big capitalist machine works. We will be forced to raise sharp questions about our values, traditions, and beliefs, our class, caste, and gender demands, about hierarchies and titles, powers and violence, comforts and creeds. Perhaps dolls like these could help people recall their history of resistance to all deadly forces and their struggle for life and dignity and a better future. They could invite us to join hands across the world in a globalized dissent against further destruction of all living things and of Mother Earth herself, and offer us seeds of compassion, care, and justice. The best way to assess the social, human, and spiritual message that the dolls convey is the poetry, prose, and spiritual writings which some committed people have written. They found meaning and were inspired by the dolls. It is often the narrative the dolls suggest that brings the writer to tell his or her own narrative. Many of those writings can be found in the two books, The Dolls Speak and Through the Needle's Eye, Everyday Life of Everyday People. The dolls may have a different message for different people in different situations and people of diverse faiths. Or the same word may be heard, interpreted, and expressed in various ways by many kinds of listeners. However, the invitation that is addressed to everyone to look, to ponder, to see, and to act still stands. Do try to listen with the heart what these dolls might be telling you about your own people, to the questions they might be posing, and the promises they might be symbolizing. Let us race together out of the huts of history's shade, up from the past that's rooted in pain, leaving behind nights of terror and of fear. We shall rise.